It's 2025 in a few hours for some people. All right. So let's get this weekend Moto, the final from around the world of 2024. Let's get going. Oh, I just missed the complete drop of the. Yeah, that was depressing. Bam! What a banger 2024 has been. We've had some upsets, some massive injuries, some shit talking between people. What is 2025 going to bring? Well, first off, I want to, oh, hey, look, there's my private deal. You can see estimated revenue, 738. Wapamos, man. Woo. Yeah, for 276,000 views. So anyway, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, the notification icon. But anyway, did you guys see the preview show? The preview show, it is now on Monster Energy Supercross. It's on a couple other ones. Oh, hey, look, I'm not even subscribed to Monster Energy Supercross. Let's go ahead and do that as well. I mean, there's so many different YouTube channels out there. But you know what else I wanted to do here? I wanted a little bit of some background beats. Let's get that done, and this week, all right, my thumbnail straight up says it. We've got some guys out here with some hole shots. Appreciate you. Happy 2024 and on to 2025. There's some news out there that, Jett's saying. I came to the conclusion that if they will hate me, that's how it is. You can just see who holds the number one plate. I'm on the fence about this, where I feel he just needs to leave it alone, right? Because we have a funny way of forgetting about what's gone on, so he's got a rivalry with Deegan. Let's wait till Deegan gets to the 450 class before we stir stuff up again. Everyone loves the Lawrence brothers. I mean, they have to. They come from a country of 20 million people, and they are some of the best motorcycle athletes in the world. F1 athletes, you name it. MotoGP athletes. I can't believe that country has such talented people for how small they are. You look at the United States, and we're a country of 360 million people. And all of our SOBs, we are, I would say, not that talented, statistically speaking, right? I mean, hey, the people out there that I know, there is some guys out here like Eli Tomac, right? Who potentially can win the 2025 Supercross series. But my whole point, because I am digressing like a motherfucker, is Jett just needs to drop it. This is the reason that's going to hold him back from having the perfect season, because he also has gone on to say, for Supercross, trying to go perfect, it's never been done before. I might not do it at all, but I got to set these goals that to make sure I wake up. Yeah, he's almost done everything in the sport, so you might as well shoot for the fences here. And the only other guys that have gotten close is Jeremy McGrath with 14 wins out of 15. And I know I briefly talked about this last week, but my point is Jett needs to just forget about the hate. He's not going to get booed at A1. Speaking of which, I'm going to be at A1. So if you're there, come by, say hi. It'll be a good time here. But I'm going to say, if he drops this, oh, people don't like me type of BS, I do believe that this may be the season that we see him go 17-0. I know. It's a crazy prediction. But you know what they say? If you find yourself on the side of the majority, you should stop and reflect. That was a wise man by the name of Mark Twain that first said that. And if there's anyone else that I say has probably an even better likelihood of going perfect, would be this individual right here, Hayden Deegan for the West Coast. I believe this prediction is probably more likely than Jett going perfect, because you've got Prado coming in. That Jason Anderson wants to make sure that he's still the top dog on Kawasaki. You have the entire Star Yamaha with Justin Cooper and freaking Eli Tomac and Webb. I think those guys have a good potential. And not to mention Ken Roxon. I do think, who's going to retire first? Is it going to be Kenny or is it going to be Eli? You know, these guys are 30-ish, right? They could be a Brayton or Mike Brown, where almost maybe even a John Dowd, where you're into your 40s and you are still a fast mofo. However, still winning races is one thing, and we will see what happens. But those are my predictions. I would love in the comments down below what you guys think about who is going to have a perfect season. Is it going to be Deegan? Is it going to be Jett? Is it going to be nobody? And way to go, Johnny, stay on it. Like, yeah, you know, and truthfully, again, with the whole crap talking, let's leave it for the 450 class. I want to see the drama on the 450s. But with that being said, there is rumors also that Deegan is going to hop on a full 50 for Daytona to race against his teammates, Cooper Webb, Justin Cooper, Eli Tomac, his rival, Jett Lawrence, and it's good for the sport. It is good for the sport. And Frank, appreciate you, dude. I'm glad you're still a mofo, dude. Hats off to you, and have a good 2020-25. And, you know, I've been one of those guys that have said that there's too many effing races, right? And leave it to my buddy Jace to kind of change my whole outlook on lots of things. You know, this guy is like Moto Jesus for some reason. But anyway, this is what he says about the 31 races.
Oh, we don't do 31 races. They'll go and race all off season. And I was like, huh, he's fucking got a point.
He's got a point.
And guess what? Eli went and did World Supercross. Jett went and did every fucking off-season race. So the same dudes,
everything,
the same dudes that were complaining about, oh, we're tired, we're this, and we're that, and they went and fucking did it.
It's not the number.
And Josh Hill says something interesting here. He goes on to basically say it's not about the number of races. It's basically about, did you have a bad season or not? Like, I mean, I guess Moto guys are willing to ride hard and kind of be put away wet type of an analogy. I know that's kind of a shitty analogy, but it's true. We all know, the fans, you guys know as well, that freaking how many times have you raced and you have a broken pinky, you got a broken index finger, I mean, you broken wrist, broken collarbone. We've all raced a torn ACL. I mean, that's pretty average one, but we all get hurt, right? We're all tough SOBs. That's just kind of the thing. And so you don't know anything else but to freaking just leave it WFO, drop the elbow, and just keep going on. So 31 races, yeah. I mean, I do think it's a lot of freaking races, but they have a point that if you're not going to have that many races, you're going to go do other series, plain and simple, right? You're going to try to make more money. That's where I think an influx of more money will prevent these guys from racing as many races. But anyway, I digress yet again. You have Josh Hill basically saying that it's also the amount of motocross versus supercross. They're trying to force guys to race motocross so that the points for the Super Motocross Championship way more, even though there's less races. But he also makes an extraordinary point, basically saying that if you are a good supercross rider, you can be a decent motocross rider. And I do agree with that. One is incredibly technical. The other one is just, are you able to close your eyes and just drop the elbow type of a deal. And if I move on to some other news here, look at this. Look at this. This is freaking epic. Like, how stiff are these motorcycles at this point that you have this fancy... Should this be outlawed? It literally goes into the axle and holds onto the handlebars and just pinches down. Because how does that fork guard even hold that sucker? It is reinforced. What is that? Is that sheet metal to reinforce that freaking thing? That is nuts how stiff these motorcycles are. Supercross is just another beast. And Deegan's not going to race west, is he? he said he was racing west, but yeah. Thank you everybody for going there. People are saying he should go east. I don't know. I want to see him go west because here, let me go back to that preview. Yeah, I'll get into that. But West region, then Mosman west, Cole Davies west, Thrasher east, Pierce Brown, Max Bennick, and Steve. He's the guy that I've got money on racing. And truthfully, I actually don't have money on racing because this is honestly the first year that, just so I can tell you, to get a media license, you have to take a class nowadays about sports betting, which I think is good, right? It's gambling. Gambling can be good and bad depending upon your risk ratio, right? So it's cool to see that motocross is adulting and we are starting to be able to bet more on this stuff. Like, yeah, there are people that have certain issues with gambling. However, I don't really see a problem with it. So I like it. I like it. And here, this is incredibly interesting. We all know KTM has been suffering, right? And yeah, last week I didn't talk about Tom Viall and the likes of the Cowboy, whether or not they're going to get paid, because truthfully, it's going to hurt everybody. It's going to hurt Sexton. It's going to hurt everybody. It's going to hurt freaking Justin Barsha and everybody on Gas and Husky if they can't pay anybody. But what's interesting is Lewis Hamilton, basically the winningest F1 racer in the world, probably the fastest man alive, not anymore. That's Max Verstappen. But however, this guy is talking about potentially getting involved with the MotoGP team. It might not save KTM USA or KTM dirt bikes and off-road, but it might save the MotoGP team that is pretty much ceased production till March of 2025. And I think it'd be awesome. Lewis Hamilton has a strong interest and he's considered owning his own team. So what kind of an influx of money could he have? Because I doubt that he has $2 billion lying around that he can save KTM and just straight up buy KTM. However, he might be able to have an influx of 10, 20 million, 1 year of his salary, right? To help save the MotoGP team. I think that would be quite interesting and on par for them. Oh, dang. I had like all the bikes here that looked freaking dope as hell ready for the live show, but it turns out that I must not have that anymore. And I guess in the last little bit of news is we have some sad news, and then also have some news about the schedule for the upcoming, gosh dang it, where did I put that freaking email about the women's motocross schedule? Yeah, so let's take a look at the women's motocross schedule here, right? They're going to do 6 rounds. Thunder Valley, awesome. It's going to be close. Ironman, Unadilla, those are really good. Paula, good for them. Hangtown, the series owns Hangtown, so of course they're going to do that. Budds Creek, and it would be nice to having more girls up and racing. That is for sure. And guys, if you are ever needing to ask anybody anything as far as fitness goes, why don't you ask Coach Rob? Because he has literally a chat bot that you add anything. What's my HRV should be? What should my resting heart rate be? How many hours of sleep should I be? Should I be mainly focused on weight training? How many calories should I be consuming about racing? Whatever. It is available for his members on CompleteRacingSolutions.com. That link will be in the description as well. And you guys are looking at the payout for the women's. And unfortunately, the payout in general for Supercross, like winning a freaking Supercross is $17,000, right? And this is the best riders in the world. That's kind of a lot of money, but at the same time, not a whole lot of money. But we always bitch and moan about the payout here. But hey, if they're not going to do it, somebody else will come up and accept the money as far as the purse goes. But these guys make quite a bit of more money with the bonuses, and that's where the whole KTM fiasco thing is an issue with the guys at Sexton, because their big contracts show making six figures, 100,000 to I think 250. I think is the largest contract that I have seen for winning a Supercross race. But you know what? You guys go party your balls off. It is 2024, the last few hours, and we will come back next week. And also, I will see you guys at A1. But don't forget to hit that like button and the subscribe button. You know, here to bring you guys Moto news every single day. Till next time, keep it WFO. Ba-ra-da-da-da-da-da.